The card is open. I'm now accepting new students into the brand new course, Bulletproof Bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online for real estate brokers. This is for real estate brokers who are struggling. Maybe you've been through a few bookkeepers, or you've just been trying to do it yourself and you just don't feel like you know what you're doing, or you look at reports and things don't look right. So this is your very limited chance to learn bookkeeping for real estate brokers with somebody who doesn't just know their stuff, but somebody who knows how to teach this stuff. This is an important distinction. There are a lot of accountants who know this stuff really well, but knowing the stuff and knowing how to teach it are very often two completely different things. So I'm going to give you everything you need so that you have a rock-solid foundation in getting bulletproof books for a real estate brokerage. What that means, as I've mentioned in some of the previous videos, is you're going to be able to prove every single number. You're going to know how to put the books together in such a way that when you run the reports, you can prove every number. Now, this means you'll have confidence in every number that you'll see on every report, which means that whoever it is that's looking at the financial statements, whether it's you just trying to get a sense of where your business is at, or some banker who's assessing your creditworthiness for the purposes of giving you a loan, or maybe somebody who's potentially going to buy your business, whoever it is, you'll want to invite them in and have them look over your numbers because you'll be that confident that anything they have a question about, you can prove. And in case you're still not 100% convinced that I'm the right person to teach this material to you, just check around this page right here where you're watching this video, and you'll see the quite a few testimonials from both real estate brokers and people who took my original flagship Bulletproof Bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online course, and you'll see what they had to say about me and the course and their experience working with me. Now, if you're still here, then I'm guessing you're fairly confident that I am the right guy to teach this material to you. And remember, I'm letting everything go here. I'm not holding anything back. I'm going to teach you every tip, every trick, everything I know about how to put a set of books together specifically for a real estate broker. And again, this means that when you run your reports, you'll feel confident making decisions about your business because you'll feel confident in the numbers. You'll feel confident that you know where you stand financially. Now, why am I doing this? Well, I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, actually. I put a small number of videos on YouTube, I think it's just a small number, on the subject of QuickBooks Online for real estate brokers, and I was deluged with inquiries from people who wanted more help, and that led to a lot of one-on-ones. And I've been doing this for a number of years now, specifically with real estate brokers, as well as accountants and bookkeepers who want to serve real estate brokers. And in that time, during all, across all that experience that I've had teaching you, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of the little nuances, things that might come up that might be very unique to one brokerage here, another brokerage there, but collectively it added up to me wanting to put together a resource covering the most important things, the things that I do think will affect a lot of you, if not most of you. And after learning about all this, working with so many businesses, I feel that the best way I could create the greatest value for the greatest number of people is through a course like this. And since I'm going to be getting busy working on other courses, I have a long list actually of courses I plan to produce in the next couple of years actually. Since I'm going to be moving on pretty quickly after this to the next course, I wanted to offer a one-time opportunity for those of you who get in now to work with me in a group coaching, in a series of group coaching sessions. So that's going to be one of the things I'm including in this offer. Now, before I get into all that, let's take a look at my screen, and I'll show you exactly what's included in this course. So here's an outline I've been working off of since I started producing the course. A lot of this is finished as of this recording. Most of it will be finished by the time you get access to the course. So here's the deal. Section 1, set up QuickBooks Online for real estate brokers. I recorded this content and wrote this material with the assumption that you are starting from a blank slate. And even if you've already got QuickBooks Online up and running in your business, you'll want to review these sections because I'm going to go through certain settings that you'll definitely want to make sure you have turned on and you might not have known to in order for other things I'm going to be teaching in this course to work the way they're meant to. So even if you have experience, even if you think you know that you've got QuickBooks Online set up properly, you're still going to want to go through this. Then, of course, we're going to show you how to record a listing or a buy, how to record the commission. We're going to look at that commission disbursement authorization, and then we're going to take kind of a variation on that theme and sketch it out in Google Sheets. There's just a few things we need that aren't in a standard CDA that I wanted to make sure you knew or got in the habit or had a template for taking down so that you have everything you need when you open up QuickBooks Online and sit down to record all the income and expenses around your listings. So, of course, we're going to talk about how to record your gross commission. We're going to talk about trust accounts, right? Not all of you do trust accounts, but a lot of you do. So that's a perfect example of one of those things that I know doesn't affect everyone, but it affects enough of you that I felt it was important. You're also going to see that there's some lessons that include templates. For example, when I walk you through how to set up your chart of accounts, you're going to have a template you can download, and the video shows you how to do the import on that so that if you really are just starting out and don't even have a QuickBooks company set up yet, you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. You'll have the templates, of course, for the CDA and also for my Google Sheets template that you'll use to sort of expand on what the CDA gives you. We're going to go through how to record all the different kinds of expenses that you typically need to record beyond the obvious, right? Of course, paying your agents and then applying trust funds once you've earned them. We're going to look at staging expenses, royalties, finder's fees, and paying franchise fees. Most importantly, you're going to learn how to make sure that all these expenses get associated with the listing that they go with. And then a whole separate lesson on how to handle agent caps, how to track what their caps are inside QuickBooks Online, and then, of course, how to run the reports you need so that you can determine when an agent has reached their cap so you can handle things accordingly, right? Then we're going to actually zoom out. We're going to get outside a little bit of the broker-specific stuff, and we're going to go into balance sheet management. And in the setup section, we'll talk about bank feeds, but here we're going to do a deeper dive into bank feeds. If any of you watching this happen to be in the Bulletproof Bookkeeping course already, then you know the kind of deep dive I do there. And we're going to do something similar here. I want to make sure that you know how to substantially, if not entirely, automate the bookkeeping process. So I'm going to teach you some really cool tips and tricks on how to get the bookkeeping, for the most part, to how to get QuickBooks Online to do most of the bookkeeping for you. Then, of course, the most important thing as we spend time and money putting all this data into a product like QuickBooks Online is what can we get out of QuickBooks Online, and that means reports. And so we're going to get into some pretty specific reports. The one that I've talked about often, having a profit and loss filtered for a single listing so you can confirm all the income you earned on that listing and everything you paid out, from the agents to the staging and everything else you might have had to pay out on for that listing. We're going to look at a P&L by agent. We're going to look at some other agent-based reports. And also we'll look at the general management reports, of course, the obvious standard things like the balance sheet and profit and loss, and so on. Then we're going to get into some project management related stuff because, again, having worked with many of you over the years, I've seen that this also becomes an area where there's a lot of data that needs to be tracked. That's not the actual accounting data, but it's definitely tangent to the accounting data. And so it makes sense, I think, for me to show you my suggestions for how to go about tracking all that stuff. And we're going to talk about things like how you can link to transactions in QuickBooks Online. So if you're using a productivity tool like ClickUp, I'll show you how you can create tasks and link directly to a transaction where you may need to refer back to that transaction while you're working on that task and vice versa very quickly and easily. We'll take a look at some other options too, Dynalist and Airtable, and then I have a whole appendix here that I'm going to bring in on how to use Airtable to track all your brokers, agents, listings, everything you need to track on about all of your real estate listings. We're going to have an appendix on tracking tags. Tags are a really cool feature in QuickBooks Online that actually lend themselves very nicely to tracking everything you need to around, all of your agents and how much income that they've earned for you and how much you've paid them. Everything you need to use. It's just a new way to track the agents that we never taught before because we didn't have tags before pretty recently. And then, of course, we're going to talk about 1099s and how I use a service called Track 1099. To do them makes it much easier, frankly, than trying to do them in QuickBooks Online. And that's just a quick rundown of everything that is in the course. Okay. Now, what else are you going to get? So I've started to talk about some of the bonuses. Okay. So, of course, there's the course itself. You're going to get the workbook. And by the way, the course itself is priced at $747. The workbook, which is a detailed write-up with screenshots and just a really nice supplement to the course itself, I'm valuing it at $397. Also, since a lot of you, as people who are going to be concerned with how to do the accounting for real estate broker, there's a good chance you're going to encounter the situation where you want to start learning how to do accounting for property management concerns. And so I'm going to include my property management with QuickBooks Online course. The value is at $497. We're going to do the 4-week group Q&A coaching session, which I'm also going to value at $2,497. I'm going to give you a Slack Q&A forum. This means, if you're not familiar with what Slack is, it's a communications channel. When you sign up for the course, you'll get access to this. You can go in there 24/7, 365, and ask all the questions you want. And I or somebody else in the community will get back to you with an answer within one business day. Okay? And I'm valuing that at $1,200. This is something I've offered to some one-on-one clients for a $500 monthly subscription. Right? If I gave that to you for a year, that would be $6,000. I'm just calling it $1,200, sort of arbitrarily, for this. Now, it would be one thing to give you to just throw a bunch of courses at you and say, here, have at it. But between the coaching sessions, the group coaching sessions, and the Slack Q&A forum, I'm providing you with a resource where you can get answers to any questions that you ever have, and all within a business day. In short, this means you'll never be stuck on anything. Anything you're working on, you have some oddball thing that comes up and as part of a listing that you did that you never encountered before, that you may never encounter again, you can go into the community, the Slack forum, and ask the question, describe the situation that you've run into, and I or somebody else will get back to you with answers on how to book it. So I know I'm killing you with this because I haven't said, what all this is going to cost. So the total value, if you add up everything that I've just listed for you, is actually $7,835. Okay, that's what that all adds up to in terms of total value. So here's the deal. All you need to do is click the button below and check out. The cart's open, like I said, so you can check out. You can get access to this immediately. So how much is this all going to come to? Final answer, $747. Okay, for just the price of the course, I'm throwing all of the rest of this in. In other words, I'm simply including these bonuses with the course. If you click the button below, you'll get instant access to all of the courses. You're also going to get a bunch of emails. Please don't ignore these emails. If you do, you'll end up emailing me, asking me questions that were answered in those emails, and I'm just going to refer you back to go read those emails. Those emails are going to contain instructions, for example, for how to join Slack. And then I'm going to follow up in a few weeks after this shopping cart, this offer closes, to let you know about the group coaching sessions. I want to give you all a good month to dive into the course and formulate your questions, because as you're going through the course, then you're going to want to go into your own books and start recording transactions. And between the two, you'll form questions, especially if things come up that are so specific or unique to whatever you're doing that they couldn't possibly be covered in the course. So the idea is I want to make sure that we reserve those coaching sessions for questions that aren't answered already in the course. So I want to give you some time, go through the course, work on your own books based on what you're learning, and then about a month or so later, we'll start the 4-week series. And so by then, you'll have some questions you can bring, and I can give you the answers you need. Again, if you think this is right for you, click the button below and sign up. This is very limited. One of the reasons, as I already told you, is because I'm going to move on. I have other courses I want to do as soon as this one is launched and sort of out there and running. The second reason is I'm not doing one-on-ones for very much longer anymore because, again, I'm getting busy. And the other part of this is I'm going to limit this to probably no more than 100 people. I might let it go, just depending on how far beyond that. But here's the thing. If I had 1,000 people in there in a 4-week series, I couldn't possibly give you the attention that's due. So I'm going to cut it off at probably the first 100 people who sign up. And I've already got a lot of people on this early bird wait list, way more than I ever expected. So take action now. Don't procrastinate on this. Again, it's a limited time offer. And one last time, if you want the course and all the bonuses that I've just laid out for you, this is your only chance to get it for just the price of the course itself. Click the button below and sign up right now, you'll get almost $8,000 worth of content and material and resources for only $747. Good luck. I hope you get in, and I look forward to seeing you in the course as well as the community, the Q&A forums that are going to be available to you for lifetime.